What's up? I'm Trevor.
I'm Laurent.
We're in the rock group Pelican.
And we are at Reckless Records. It's an awesome record store in Chicago. It's been around for a very long time, originally from London. This is the Wicker Park location.
And Run for Cover gave us some bread, so we're going to go in there and buy some stuff. I know that I'm looking for the Kendrick record, GNX, because that's like a record that's been really resonating with everybody in my household, and we do not have it on wax yet. I will say, this King Crimson album, formative influence on the early days of Pelican. Some of just the harshest, craziest prog. I absolutely love the guitar playing on that album so much. Since the pandemic, I've gotten really into buying new records direct from labels, more or less. So I think when I go record shopping, I usually hit the used stuff first, just because that's the stuff that I'm not going to find online or buying mail order. There's so many records that I've missed over the years, you know, that it's all about the hunt. This is probably. I'm a big Bolt Thrower fan, excellent classic British death metal, and I don't have this one, so not on wax, so I definitely want to grab it. We are in luck. This is a fantastic album that gets so much play in my house, and I'm really stoked to be getting it on vinyl for sure. I'm gonna cruise over to the 7 inches now. I've been trying to DJ a lot more lately, and I prefer when I'm spinning records, like at a club or whatever, I prefer 7 inches over albums because it's easier to find the cut that you're looking for.
Found this.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So big Quicksand fan, and obviously really enjoyed the Rival Schools records at the time when they came out. Big fan of the first one. Super stoked to be finding this one. Bunch of B-sides.
I just grabbed this Lifeguard 7 inch. They're an excellent young post-punk band from the city. They got started when they were teenagers and they're on Matador now. I haven't actually seen this one. I don't know what this is, but they have two 12 inches out that are just fucking great records. So I'm excited to check this one out, see what it's all about. I have this, but this is a fantastic record. It's a single from Public Image Limited, which was John Lydon's band after Sex Pistols, just like crazy dubbed out post-punk weirdness. And this one is, I think it's from the second album. It's really cool shit.
Not a cop though.
Not a cop.
We are standing in hallowed ground in Chicago. This is the iconic Reckless record location in Wicker Park. Used to be located further up the street. And then they moved down here. Prior to that, it was off of Damon. It was a much smaller store. I moved here in 1995 to go to school, and the first record store I went to was Reckless. They have another location in Belmont, and the first CD I bought upon stepping on U.S. soil was the Snapcase Steps CD. My music taste has changed over the years, although I still think that's a really good EP. And this is that store that you go to where you're like, you want to branch out, you want to find cool stuff that you know, but also just like go through the used bins and just tap into new things. The clerks that work here are all like just amazing music heads, and anytime I would put something on the counter, you know, they'd be like, oh cool, Black Flag. Have you heard of La Bradford? You know, or like, what do you know about German krautrock? And then you would just get your mind kind of blown, checking out new things. As a musician on the road, this place has also mattered to me in a different way. When we were like cash strapped, or I was at least, coming off of tour, I would often take records, bring them here, and they would turn that around with like some of the best trade cash that you could get. So you felt good about your records going to other people. And then every once in a while you would like go past a record that you sold years ago. They also used to have an amazing holds plan where you could just like put records on hold forever, and they would call you and go, hi, this is Reckless Records. There's a lot of records on hold still from a long time ago if you just want to swing through and purchase them. Anyway, Long story short, I've found a bunch of really cool stuff over the years, like OG E-rake pressings that, you know, I would put in a special order for and never imagined they would show up. I had friends who worked here and they would call me and tell me like, hey, a big metal trade came through. If you can get here in the next half hour, I think you can probably scoop some of it. And I would just stop bartending, put my tools down and just like run down here, buy a bunch of stuff and then go right back to work. So a lot of memories here. When Trevor was going through, I got a head start and found a couple things that I was interested in. For one, behind you, there's a bunch of tapes. I love tapes. I think it's like, just being from, you know, my generation, tapes are always awesome. They just have like a tactile feel to them. I love the way they sound. They wear out over time, but that doesn't seem to stop me from buying them. And they don't sound as good as CDs or vinyl, but there's something nostalgic about them. So I'll always look through here and it's kind of cool. You can see that like Sub Pop's been reissuing a bunch of stuff on tape, Relapse too. But then over here, I found a hole in the collection that I don't have. This is earlier Sonic Youth, probably like, I guess it's not the super early stuff, which is like way on the noisy side or more freeform. This is kind of like the transition to Sister and other material. So this is Evol and it's a reissue. I think, yeah, looks that way, still sealed. So I'm gonna hang on to this. Over here is the metal section. And it's usually stocked with like a bunch of new stuff and often really cool used stuff. I am, I guess, like an old school death metal head. There's a particular sound that I grew up with in the late 80s, early 90s. A lot of Florida stuff, you know, like OG Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, things like that. And I really like the Scott Burns mixes. And there's a new band on Profound Lore called Ancient Death, who I think are from Massachusetts. I could be wrong, I hope I'm not wrong. I love the cover. It reminded me of Causes of Death by Obituary. The music, you know, isn't like completely adjacent to that, but it was one of those rare recent moments where I heard like a new death metal band and I was like, man, this stuff is awesome. So I'm gonna go see if they have it. Here we go. That worked out pretty good. So there it is, Ancient Death. I mean, it just like looks the part, even the band photo with like the wide view and like just I'm already getting excited just like even holding it. So, you know, I mean, that's not like a disparate music taste for, you know, a guy in a band called Pelican that kind of sounds like metal, but kind of sounds like other stuff at the same time. We talked about this already too. So I'm gonna hang on to this as well. This is that Rival Schools record, Pedals, which I don't have on vinyl. And honestly, anything Walter does is awesome to me. I think he has an unbelievable ear for melody and for like the catchiest riffs, no matter what music style he's playing, so big fan. So I'm gonna put that here. This is an old German band called Epitath. This is their album called Stop, Look, and Listen. I mean, you can just tell from the back that it's gonna be awesome. They're just sitting down looking, you know, bored and serious. It's got like 2 songs on one side and 3 on the other, so you know they're gonna be like long form, 70s kind of jammy, proggy stuff. I actually have one of their other records, but I don't have this one. And it's a super expensive record to find if you ever find it used, so I'm not trying to go broke and break the budget like that, so I'm gonna set this aside. I'm not saying this might not make the final cut, but we're gonna set it aside. This is the used section, new arrivals. There's like so much cool stuff in here. I mean, this is a reissue as well, which is crazy that it's going for $75, but there's a bunch of good metal in here. All right, so it's a reissue, but I'm gonna call it out because it's like one of my favorite records. This is The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. I'm a huge Genesis fan, especially the Peter Gabriel era. His voice is like immediately compelling to me, but it's also some elements of this band that people aren't paying attention to is that Phil Collins' drumming is amazing. It's like, I don't know, I think I associate them with Yes, obviously in terms of like, you know, commercially super successful, pompous, like theatrical 70s prog bands, but there's a distinct like pop elements to both those bands that's like pervasive. It's never like off the rails prog or like super self-indulgent, but there's something kind of like whimsical and like, I don't know, Middle Ages sounding about the way that Genesis present their sound. That's always made them like super interesting to me. And so I do not have this on vinyl, which is a shocking assertion to make. I apologize to those who thought that I had it. I don't, and I will be hoping to grab it today. So final verdict, we've got Sonic Youth Evol on tape. We've got this German prog hard rock reissue, Epitath. We've got this new death metal thing, Ancient Death, and then The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway on double LP reissue. Last but not least, Rival Schools on Run for Cover.
Since the last time I checked in with y'all, I found a few more things. I've got this 33 1/3 book on It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back by one of my favorite music writers, Chris Weingarten, who also was a phenomenal drummer in the band Parts and Labor back in the day. I found this old Hydra Head rarity, 7-inch by Keelhaul, fantastic technical hardcore band from Cleveland. Really excited to check that one out. And I went ahead and pulled out the most recent Joyce Manor album. This is a punk band from Orange County, I think, that Laurent and I really connect on. And we were listening to this a bunch on tour when it first came out, so stoked to find that one out and about. I'm doing well, how are you? Hey, thank you so much to Reckless for being such an institution in Chicago for so many years. Always the dopest selection, and really thrilled to have been able to do this. So thank you so much, Run for Cover, as well.
Thank you.